Hello everybody, hello grade 9. Today we'll study the math revision sheet. Number 1, use the opposite graph to determine the solution of the equation. The parabola doesn't cut x-axis at any point, so we can say no real solutions. Use the graph to find the solution of the equation. The graph cuts x-axis at one point, so we have one real solution. Just find the x-intercept. The x-intercept equals 1. Now x equals 1. Number 3, what are the solutions of x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0? Using the graph shown. Just determine the intersection points with the x-axis. At the left, we have negative 5, 0. At the right, we have 3, 0. Now, the values of x are negative 5 and 3. Now, the solution is B. Number 4, solve for x. 2x minus 1 times x plus 8 equals 0. Now we can say that 2x minus 1 equals 0 and x plus 8 equals 0. Just solve the two equations. First, we have to isolate x. Just add 1 to both sides. We can say that 2x equals 1. To find the value of x, just divide both sides by 2, the coefficient of x. Now x equals 1/2. This is the first value of x. Next, x plus 8 equals 0. It's addition equation, so we can use subtraction. Just subtract 8 from both sides. Now we can say that x is equal to negative 8. Now the values of x are 1/2 and negative 8. The correct answer is D. Number 5, solve the quadratic equation. X squared minus 6x plus 5. We can use factoring. We have x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. It's ready to factorize. Just open two parentheses and ask yourself, x squared, we can write it as x times x. We need two numbers. Their product is 5 and their sum is 6. Now the two numbers are what? Yes, 5 times 1. 5 times 1 equals 5, and 5 plus 1 equals 6. What about the sign? The last term is positive, so the two numbers have the same sign of the middle term. So I get negative 5 and negative 1. Now x minus 5 times x minus 1 equals 0. We can say that x minus 5 equals 0 and x Mr. minus 1 equals 0. Now we can deduce that x equals 5 or x equals 1. Now the solution is x equals 5 and x equals 1. Number 6. What's the solutions of the equation? X squared minus 6x equals negative 9. First step, you have to write the equation in the standard form. Just add 9 to both sides. We get x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. Look at the expression x squared minus 6x plus 9. This expression is what? Yes, perfect square trinomial. Perfect square trinomial. We studied. Now we can factorize easily. Just open parentheses, squared or all squared equals 0. Root x squared is x, root 9 is 3, and don't forget to write the sign of the middle term. Now, by taking the square root of both sides, we get x minus 3 equals 0. Directly, we can say that we have one real solution, that x is equal to 3. Now the correct answer is x equals 3. Number 7. What are the solutions of the equation? Pay attention to this equation, guys. X squared plus 2x equals 0. We have a common factor which is x. Now the GCF is x. Just write x and open the two parentheses we have equals 0. And by division, x squared divided by x equals what? Yes, equals x. Plus 2x divided by x equals 2. Now we can say that we have x equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. From the second expression, x plus 2 equals 0, or the second equation, we can say that x is equal to negative 2. Now the values of x are x equals 0 and x equals negative 1. So the correct answer is D. Number 8, if root 20 is equal to x root 5, how can we find the value of x? It's easy. Just simplify root 20. Ask yourself, we can write 20 as what times what? As 4 times 5. The factor 4 is perfect square trinomial, so we can write it as root 4 times 5 is equal to x root 5. Just to simplify, root 4 equals what? Equals 2. We can write it as 2 root 5 is equal to x root 5. By comparing, we can say that x equals 2. Now x equals 2. Another way, we can say root 20 is equal to x root 5. To find the value of x, just isolate x. How can we isolate x? Just divide both sides by root 5. Now, we can write x equals root 20 over root 5. Root 20, we can write it as root 5 times root 4 over root 5. You can cancel root 5. Now x is equal to radical 4. Now x equals 2. So the correct answer is B. Number 9, simplify. How can we simplify root 2x squared times root 8x cubed? Just apply the rule root a times root b equals root a times b. We can write it as root ab. Now just apply the rule. We can say that 2x squared times 8x cubed. 2x squared times 8x cubed under the root. 2 times 8 equals 16. X squared times x cubed equals x raised to the power 5. So we get root x raised to the power 5. Now we can write x raised to the power 5 as x raised to the power 4 times x. So we get 16 times x raised to the power 4 times x, and don't forget to draw the root. Now we have Mr. Perfect Square Factors. 16, its root is 4. X raised to the power 4, x squared. And we have root x down, so we get 4x squared root x. Now the correct answer is D. Number 10, how can we find the value of x? X is what? Is the hypotenuse we studied. By Pythagorean theorem, we get x equals what? To find, just square the hypotenuse, which is x squared, equals the sum of the two squares of the two legs. So 4 squared plus 4 squared. Now x squared is equal to 4 squared equals 16 plus 16. Now x squared is equal to 16 plus 16. We can write it as 16 times 2. To find the value of x, just take the square root. We get x equals root 16 times 2. Now, root 16 is what? Is 4 root 2. Just simplify the expression. Now, the answer is 4 root 2. Second, written questions. Simplify root 2x times root 9x raised to the power 5. Just multiply 2x by 9x raised to the power 5. 2 times 9 equals 18. X times x raised to the power 5 is x raised to the power 6. Just add the powers. And don't forget to draw the root. We can write 18 as what? 9 times 2. So we get 9 times 2 times x raised to the power 6 under the radical. So we get root 9 is 3. Root x raised to the power 6. Just divide the exponent 6 by 2. So we get x cubed root 2. Now we can say that root 2x times root 9x raised to the power 5 is equal to 3x cubed root 2. Number 2, solve for x by factoring. He said by factoring, just factorize the left-hand side. Now, x squared is equal to what? Yes, is equal to x times x. Ask yourself, we are looking for two numbers. Their product is 2, and their sum is 3. The two numbers are 2 and 1. The last term is positive, so the two numbers have the same sign of the middle term. They are negative. Now we can deduce that x minus 2 equals 0. Now x equals what? Yes, 2. And x minus 1 equals 0. Now we get x equals 1. Now the two roots of the equation is or are x equals 1 and x equals 2. Simplify the radical expression. By the same way, we have 3 times 2 equals 6 outside the radical. And to draw the radical, just multiply 5x by 15x cubed. 5 times 15 equals what? Yes, 75. X times x cubed, just add the powers, we get x raised to the power 4. Look at 75. We studied 75. We can write it as 25 times 3. 25 is a perfect square number. Now we can write it as 6 root 25 times 3 times x raised to the power 4. Now just take the root. 25, it will be 5. But we have outside 6. So 5 times 6 equals what? Yes, equals 30. Just write 30. Root x raised to the power 4 is equal to x squared. And we have root 3. Or under the root we have 3. So the simplest form of this expression is 30x squared root 3. Number 4. Solve the equation by factoring. What's the first step? To write the equation in the standard form. Just plus 4 to both sides, or add 4 to both sides, we get x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. What about the expression x squared minus 4x plus 4? It's perfect square trinomial we studied. Now we can factorize it as x minus 2 raised to the power 2 equals 0. Now what inside the bracket is x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now x equals 2. Now we have just one real solution for the equation x squared minus 4x equals negative 4. Simplify the expression. Root 40x raised to the power 7. We can write 40 as what? But we have a perfect square factor. 40 is 5 times 8. But 5 times 8 it doesn't work. Why? Because 5 and 8 are not perfect square factors. But we can write 40, guys, as 4 times 10. We studied 4 is a perfect square number. X raised to the power 7, we can write it as x raised to the power 6 times x. Now we can write it as root 4 times 10 times x raised to the power 6 times x. Now ask yourself, Mister, which factor will be under the root? We have 10 and x, so we get root 10x. Why? Because they are not a perfect square factors. Now root 4 equals 2, root x raised to the power 6 equals x cubed. So we get 2x cubed root 10x. How can we compare between 5 root 28 and root 119? Look, what about the outside 5? We can, Mister, write 5 as what? We can write 5 as root 25. Just apply the rule. A root b is equal to root a squared b. Okay, so let 5 be inside to be 5 squared. So we have 5 root 28 is equal to root 25 times 28. 25 times 28 equals 700. So we get root 700. Now, what about the two numbers, 700 and 119? We can say that 700 is greater than 119. Now, root 700, it's greater than root 119. But root 700 is what? Yes, root 700 is 5 root 28 is greater than 100 root 119. Now we can compare between the two radical expressions. Number 7, what's the value of the unknown side? Let the unknown side equals y and apply the rule. The longest side is 6x, so we get 6x squared is equal to the sum of the two squares, 2x squared plus y squared. Just to simplify, 6x raised to the power 2 is equal to 36x squared equals 2x raised to the power 2, so it will be 4x squared plus y squared. Just isolate y squared, subtract 4x squared from both sides. We get y squared is equal to 36x squared minus 4x squared equals 32x squared. To find y, just by taking the square root, we get the square root of 32x squared. We can write 32 as 16 times 2x squared. The common factors or the perfect factors are 16 and x squared. So leave 2 as it is. So we get root 2 outside the root. We have 4x. Now, Mr. The missing unknown side in terms of x is what? Yes, is 4x root 2. How can we solve the equation for x squared equals 0? Just divide both sides by 4, we get x squared equals 0. By taking the square root, we can deduce that we have just one real solution, which is x equals 0. What about the equation negative 4x squared minus 1 equals 48? Just isolate x squared by adding 1 to both sides. Now 4x squared is equal to 49. But don't forget, guys, the negative sign. Just divide both sides by negative 4 to isolate x squared. Now, Mr. X squared is equal to what? Is equal to negative 49 over 4. Pay attention, guys. X equals or x squared equals a negative number. It's rejected. Now we can say that no real solutions. Pay attention to this equation, guys. I said before that x squared equals 9. We have two values of x, which are positive or negative 3. But x squared equals a negative number has no solution or no real solutions for this equation. Finally, solve for x. Use factoring. 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. How can we solve this equation? We have two methods by factoring. Just take 2 and multiply it by 4. We get 8. Now we can rewrite the equation as x squared plus 7x minus 8 equals 0. We can factorize x squared plus 7x minus 8 equals 0 as x squared is x times x. We need two numbers. Their product is 6 or 8, and their difference is 7. Now the two numbers are 8 times 1. The last term is negative, so the two numbers have a different sign. The larger one has the same sign of the middle term, so we get plus 8 and minus 1. But don't forget, you multiply it by 2, then you can divide by 2. Next, I will divide the two numbers 8 and 1 by 2 and simplify again. We get x plus what? Plus 4. You can imagine that we will multiply 2 by x, so to be 2x minus 1 equals 0. Now we have two factors. X plus 4 equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. Just to solve the two equations, we get x equals negative 4 and x equals 1/2. It's easy to solve. But we have another way. Look at the main equation, which is Mr. 2x squared plus 7x minus 4 equals 0. We can write 7x as what? As 8x minus x. Now, just rewrite the equation again. 2x squared plus 8x minus x minus 4 equals 0. By using associative property, we can say 2x squared plus 8x together plus negative x minus 4 equals 0. By taking the common factor between 2 and 8 is 2, common factor, we have x common factor, so the common factor is 2x. Now, by factoring 2x squared divided by 2x, we get x plus 8x divided by 2x equals 4. Mister, we have a common factor which is negative sign or negative 1, so we get negative sign outside, so we get x plus 4. Negative x divided by negative 1 equals x. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 equals 4 equals 0. Now we have a common factor which is x plus 4. Just take x plus 4 as a common factor. We get first term divided by x plus 4, we get what? 2x minus second term divided by x plus 4 equals 1 equals 0. We have the same two factors. X plus 4 times 2x minus 1 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. We can deduce that x equals negative 4 and 2x minus 1 equals 0. We can deduce directly that x equals 1/2. What about the last equation? It's easy. X squared is equal to x times x. We have two numbers, or we are looking for two numbers. Their product is 2 and their difference is 1. The two numbers are 2 times 1. The larger value has the same sign of the middle term, so 2 it will be negative, and Mr. 1 it will be positive. Why? Because the last term is negative, so the two numbers are different in sign. Don't forget this point. Now we get x minus 2 is equal to 0. We can deduce that x equals 2. X plus 1 equals 0. We can deduce that x equals negative 1. So the two roots are 2 and negative 1. Thanks for watching. See you soon, guys.